My bad. We're going to start off with Josh Fryar on the 10 and Will Kazmarek on the hash marks.
Well, Josh, so many people were kind of predicting, I don't know what the right word is, for the offensive line after you had the injury, but you guys have held together. How have you done it?
I don't know. I think just shows that our offense line's resilient, tough. We look adversity in the eye and we just say F you. We're gonna do it.
Can I get that?
Yeah.
Josh, you guys have played one of the country's best defensive lines over the last 6 weeks, I believe. Is there a sense like there's nothing that can surprise you anymore, or do you guys feel like you're better prepared maybe than people would have expected based on who you played?
Yeah, I think we go into it trying to be the most prepared team. I mean, with this front in Notre Dame, we just watch them and they just play really hard and they play really tough. And it's going to be a good challenge for us because I think they're the toughest team in college football. So that's just my opinion.
What did you see from last year's version of them to this year's that's different? What do you think is similar?
I think last year and this year's version are, I think, similar because they play just relentless. It's everybody's flying to the ball. Even though that they have a couple injuries, guys step up and they look really good as a defense.
Josh, when you're watching film, what tends to stand out more, just sort of generally, what tends to stand out more, like really good individual talents or a team like Notre Dame that just plays with the kind of relentless effort that you're talking about? Like what when you watch a team?
I think both. I mean, I think both. I think first you watch the defensive line and watch how they play, and then you compare it to I think other teams, but at the same time, you can't compare this team to another team because I think this team plays really hard, but also that they have good technique and good skills out there as a defense as a whole to just wreck a game.
Josh, the last few weeks, your offensive line, guys are coming in and out. People are still having to contribute in different ways. What's grown? Where have you guys grown the most and changed week to week, just even in the last 3 weeks?
I think I don't know. I think we've grown closer as a unit than I've ever seen before. I mean, I've been here for 5 years and I've been on a lot of offensive lines. I think this is the closest one we've had by far. And it just because I think of the adversity that we've overcome to get to this point. And like Coach Day said, there's a story still to be written.
Josh, what impresses you most about how Donovan's moving out to tackle?
It's impressed me a lot. He's a really good football player, as you can tell. It's going to boost him in the NFL when he gets there, and it's crazy to see how valuable he is to this team.
Josh, you and the rest of these seniors obviously came back with this being the end goal. So how does it feel to finally be on the doorstep, having the chance to go to the national championship game?
I'd say it feels like a dream, but at the same time, I think you just take it day by day. You can't look forward to the game. You have to have a good Tuesday practice, have a good Wednesday practice, have a good Thursday practice, and just make sure that those days are complete to where you can build up to that game and see how you're going to do in the game.
When you are at this point in the season, this far in, what are the biggest things you're working on in practice to get yourself ready for that game?
I think it's more just mental, just seeing what the defense is, what their scheme is, and then also just making sure that you have the right technique for those defenders and stuff like that.
Josh, I was talking to Donovan last week when y'all arrived in Dallas and just talking about how all of you guys are hurt in some form of fashion. It has been a grind, hasn't it? I mean, just playing. What can you give me any insight on what's kind of hurting for an offensive lineman right now?
Yeah, you'd say everything. I mean, we hit on a daily basis all the time. So you could have knee pain, ankle pain. You could have headaches. You have shoulder pains. You have hands, wrists, thumb, anything. But I think it just shows that we're willing to do whatever to play.
That's what I'm saying. What's driving you right now? I mean, what is it?
Win a national championship.
Yeah.
Win a national championship. That's what's driving me. more than ever because it's a memory that'll last a lifetime if you go and do it.
There are times when, in the past, the era of the transfer portal, you wish players had more patience. Your one game left. How would you say your patience is paid off?
I think it's paid off. Playing for a national championship. If you were to tell me that when I was 10 years old, being a starting right tackle at Ohio State, I would say I'd say some cuss words at you and and tell you to go away. Not that much, but yeah, it's Indiana, so yeah.
There are times when it looks like you're playing on your way. I mean, how much are you really just getting this out?
I don't know. I guess you could say I'm gutting it out. I don't look at myself more than I'm just looking inside that huddle during the offense when we're calling a play, and I'm like, I gotta do it for these guys. Put so much in for them.
Being an Indiana guy playing with Notre Dame,
Yeah.
Indiana school, is that making it more special?
No, Notre Dame didn't recruit me when I was going out through high school. But I don't have any ill will against that. They didn't think I was a good enough football player. So at the end of the day, no, I don't think that's any motivation. I don't look at it like that. Maybe that they recruited different guys in classes, but I don't look at it as any ill will.
Every single person I've talked to this morning is like, oh my gosh, we're so tired. We're all exhausted. How in the world are you guys finding the mental strength to rest and recover over and over again? Like, what has this week been like, Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's just shows that it's like an NFL style season. I mean, it's crazy to think what we're in week, was it 16 or 17? And it's just, I think it prepares you for the next level more than ever because it's basically, I wouldn't say it's the NFL, but the playoffs and all that stuff, it's kind of coming together as the NFL.
So how are you recharging?
Sleep, sleep, going in the training room, spend hours in there, then go in the film room with a ice pack on or stem or something like that and start watching film. I think it's like a 24/7 thing that you always got to keep your body right to make sure that you're ready to perform at the level you want to perform at.
Yeah, Chelsea, was losing Seth the bottom point for this offensive line from the standpoint of coming back, of figuring out another way? I mean, explain that day to me and where y'all come from that moment.
That day was an oh shit for me. It was just to see where he went from the wintertime to being the guy who wouldn't talk anything and being All-American Remington winner. Yeah, it was a dark point in this season for us as O-line, but I had confidence in Carson right away. I mean, he played 12 games and he did fine. I thought he did fine in those 12 games, so I had complete and utter confidence in Carson.
Yeah, is he one of those, well, not diamonds in the rough because he played all last year, but it had to come through? I mean, explain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it just shows that centers, guards, tackle, they just need time. Time to – I mean, you're not going to do amazing your first season unless you're, I don't know, Michael Jordan or something like that. I don't know. But it shows that it's just a development. And, I mean, our slogan is developed here. I mean, just to see him come from last season to this season, it's completely different.
How has Justin Fry helped you develop over the last 3 years of a different offensive line coach?
Yeah, Coach Fry is a great offensive line coach. He knows what technique to use on every single play. He busts his ass for us. Even though people give him hate all the time, I don't understand. I don't see why. He's a great human being. He just wants the best for us, and I think that's what you see at him every single day. Is he's trying to push us to be the best for ourselves.
Do you think the job Luke and Austin and Tegra have done kind of rotate on the interior?
Yeah, I think they've done an unbelievable job. And it just shows the selflessness of all three of those guys, because Tegra was starting for the season, Austin was left guard, and then Luke jumps in there. But those guys haven't complained one bit of, oh, I want to get more playing time or something like that. They've been selfless, and it's amazing to see.
After the Cotton Bowl, Donovan Jackson said that Jack Sawyer called him and recruited him, tried to get some of these guys. What do you remember about Jack's role in trying to get everyone to come back and do this one more time?
Yeah, I knew I was coming back, so that there was no recruiting for me. I was kind of on the outside of that because it was only my first year playing or first year starting. But I just remember just the fire in Jack's eyes you see, because Ohio native, Ohio State guy, literally the Buckeye, I call him. And it's just a fire in his eyes of, hey, we can do this. We can go to a national championship and play for it. We just have to have everybody come back, and it was awesome to see. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Quite the difference.
Well, I flew it out of there. Because it's actually cheaper. You're justified.
Right, yeah.
But now between two of my buddies.
Oh, gee, that would be sweet.
Next week.
Oh, man, what a show that was.
I'm going to play at least twice.
Yeah. That
I played on the second.
North Carolina. Huh? We're down there going to North Carolina next year. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. You know that.
It gets tolerable.
Yeah.
For your height, you know.
No, I don't like that. So, it's back at Rutgers.
Yeah, right.
I never played that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any yeah, well, yeah.
Even less than that.
Yeah.
The sun's just
Right. Good.
Heck it is.
Yeah.
I was lucky. Heck it is. He's got two clubs. He's got two I think he was like Fryar, right? Lexington.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. But anyway.
Immediately to you, and you were gone. Damn.
Slightly down. And I told you, I think I told you, the fairway looks like one of those.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of those illicit campfires. But if you get hung up in the, it was narrow. And it's not going. You just say, got your face on it. Got your phone. But then,
So they come back down?
well, no, of course I love it. But third, I mean, the second time I got there, just popped it up right up here like 2 feet. Oh, yeah. Well, you get it for something like in fact, you just sit there, you know.
It's the first thing in your head, right?
My top didn't go, so I right now?
That's where the MV's trying to Get inside that 10% here.
I figured you
No. But anyway, this was pretty cool. Good play. Really got to play 17. We see over like
Yeah, I'm already. Okay, that sounds like awesome.
so I'm gonna get that and then I can take off.
Yeah. Last night.
Yeah.
Because I told her how scary.
No. One of my buddies.
I already got it you're talking about.
4 nights.
The reason I did the
End of the
I guess that's true. We had that. Yeah. What? Oh yeah.
They knew about it because Eric asked me.
Well, yeah,
They knew about it.
What?
Not really.
In your head, big
But this is the Eagles' farewell thing. You know, the sphere.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you worked out a few Eagles or the Steelers.
This.
Yeah, right.
Well, they added it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they added like 8 more.
I'm not surprised by that. Oh, this year?
I went to see him. Yeah, but I mean, they were expensive even then. That was their hell freezes over to.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, no.
I will.
Nice and toasty in here, huh?
Terrible, but no one wants that. I don't put it up because they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Just exactly what I told him.
Yeah, I know. Take your money.
Yeah, well, all right.
I had to like find. I was not calling. I know. I saw you when you were tweeting. So. You get sick of the rose funding? Everybody. Yeah.
They will never see it. They got definitely said
You did?
no, it was 36 hours. It was the fourth. Yes, the fourth and the fifth. Ryan was in there talking, and the players were in there talking. The fourth and fifth, I was so sick that I wasn't going to and then I woke up at 6 hours. Which is what the guy behind me was doing.
The TV's mobilizing. Oh. Flying formation.
Jared Smalley just arrived.
Clear the way.
I were sitting next to each other. I was on the window, he was in the middle, there was a guy in the aisle, the guy behind him was the aisle. So like 5 minutes before he got sick, some lady goes and sits in the middle seat right beside him. His brother was in there. His brother looks at the lady, so they can sit here in the middle or I can give you the He just hit the aisle. Not even 5 minutes later, he's back off the gate. He's back off the gate. And I didn't have my headphones on. I was chatting with the guys in my row, and all of a sudden, I can't hear this. I don't even have headphones in my hand. My AirPods case in. I hear it first. And all of a sudden, I whip the AirPods case open, I throw it in, and I turn up the volume as loud as I could. Right. And I still was doing it. My face got red. I was super hot, and I looked at all the other people. I'm not going to make it. No, 3 hours. 2 seconds. They brought it up. No, it was so close to us. It was in the back first. And finally, the fourth, even there, you make sure you're not everywhere. So why doesn't it look like personal sprays it on the napkin and gives it because I could smell it.
I hope so. I hope PJ does good.
It's like blocks like last week. It's like you see the draft picks now.
I think
Everyone had to get.
I could do that. This was him because I thought for sure I was not going to do it. And I was trying to put text on my Yes.
And folks, for those who are qualified to do 2 and dones, we're going to have Sunny Styles over here on this side. Got a camera. We'll do a little group huddle. Okay, a little group huddle at the end.
I took the test, Jerry.
TV, any TVs? Dad joke of the day. We'll let you get a little. Hey, Coop. Two and done with him too. And I pops up.
Look at this. Guess what? You can have more than 2 minutes of style on Saturday. My favorite things that I ever say is a situation just like that.
No. Yeah.
That was, for me, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Or that we're gonna ask them.
Old school stuff.
That's why I like Lorenzo. Wow.
California, Texas, and Florida.
I gotta be done.
Wait, I think you're supposed to get some.
Trying to see what the line's like in there. I think it's like a medium or something. It's just a weird. It's a weird. It is a weird. Every week. Yeah, it's like no. Says he's like the best. Yeah.
Nothing but above the line.
Right here.
Hey, folks, we have Lorenzo Styles on the 10 here.
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Well, I can imagine the emotions you're probably feeling this week. The national championship, playing against your old team.
Yeah.
What's it
Clearly, I picked good schools, so that's in there for sure. But I'm excited. I play with some of those guys. I have a lot of respect for that program. I have a lot of respect for Coach Freeman. I'm just excited for the matchup overall.
When you were playing wide receiver there, would you ever imagine you playing against them now in that particular game with the corner on that stage?
I would never imagine that part of it, though. It's a great opportunity, and I'm just really excited to go guard some of the guys I used to play with.
What stands out about their offense and how they change since you played for them?
They have a load in that running back room. They have a lot of good guys. They have three really good backs that are popping up on the tape. So it's going to be important for us to go stop the run game and win up front.
What have you enjoyed about that role in time?
I really enjoy the opportunity just to be on the field and really just go play. If I'm being honest, I got to be on the field on some critical downs, help the team win, and just do my part in our overall execution.
What about that spot specifically suits your skill set?
It's normal nickel. Clearly I'm coming in on third down with that dime package, so I get to show off my coverage ability, which I really like to do.
Lorenzo, what do you feel like are the biggest ways that you've grown from the start of this year?
Where do I really start there? I would have to say at first, I would credit a lot of that to my teammates, just growing closer with the team. So I think I've been just growing more passionate about the game, just who I'm playing for, who I'm playing and why I'm really doing it. But my overall skill set, getting some of that gameplay, I get to really just match the speed of the game. I played a bunch of different receivers from different schools, different body types, etc., things like that. So being able just to be more dynamic, being blitz, and do things of that nature. So just overall enhance my game.
Kind of a cliche question. Do you remember when it really kind of clicked for you this year, where you were playing the way you were supposed to in practice, and guys were noticing it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I would have to say it was that Nebraska week when they gave me the all clear to start that week. And then in the game, there was a critical third down. I had to go make a play, and I did that. So from there, I think my trust started to go with the program. I thought really the longevity of my career, I thought it would be at cornerback. And I had a lot of trust in Coach Walton. I had a lot of trust in what Ohio State does with DB. So I was just I thought this would be the best fit for me.
How much of a factor was Sonny being?
Sonny being close to home, my brother here, that's definitely a plus. But I had to think about the longevity of my career. Me playing with Sonny's not necessarily going to help me get to the NFL. So I had to think about what was going to be best for me there.
Lorenzo, how can you draw from your time there and prepare to play against them?
I think a lot about the program. There's a lot of similarities in between both programs. One thing that I really think about, or I was thinking about before coming doing this, we used to do tug of war there. So going to get some of the guys those one-on-one matchups, and this game's kind of like that tug of war. There's going to be some momentum swings, and we just have when they blow the whistle at the end, we got to make sure we're pulling it to our side.
Do you have a lot of teammates, coaches asking you things, trying to get tips on how to play those games?
They asked me a couple questions, but that was more so last year. I know they have a new offensive coordinator from LSU, so the team's a little bit different from when I was there. But yeah, there's definitely some questions being asked.
Yeah, what do you see a lot different with Riley Leonard at quarterback? Obviously different from the guy last year.
Yeah, he can run the ball for sure. I think his physicality, his athleticism, his toughness shows up on the tape. There's going to be a lot of +1 runs, which makes it hard. Extra hat in the box, have to defend that. But I think he's a big leader on that team. Not saying the other quarterbacks weren't, but he's really a driving force for that offense to go. He has decent size. He has really good size. He shows some twitch on film. So I was there with him as well. So I'm excited to go with that matchup. I'm doing this when I really think about it. Legacy is a bit really comes to mind. My dad being here, my brother being here, and then this team's grown. I think it's a really faith-based team. So I just want to give a lot of credit to Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity to be on this team, and be able to do this today.
Speaking of legacy, Jack Sawyer is writing quite a story of his own right now. Can you tell us a funny Jack story of how he's personally impacted you in a moment to make you better this season?
I don't even want to talk about this season, I'm being honest. Me and Jack been friends since we were 7 years old playing basketball, and he helped this competitive edge really increase. When we were on the court, he was always that guy talking stuff, always getting the team our guys rallied up then. And then he helped me get better when I'm younger, because when you're younger, the people you surround yourself with, that really helps help you form who you are. And he played a really big part in that, just always pushed me to be my best self, and hopefully I did the same for him. So I mean, yeah, it's more like an NFL season, or a little bit less, but it starts to add up on your body. So, good thing about Ohio State, we have depth here. So when guys needed to step up, like when I had my opportunities, you see the D line, multiple positions, they really need to step up. We've had the guys to do that. So just staying healthy and really trying to take this over the whole season.
Lorenzo, with Jack, you, Sonny, Ty, I sure have forgotten somebody.
Yeah.
Pickerington's having a real moment in this season. I mean, how cool is it for your hometown to have so many big moments this season?
It means a lot to Pickerington. We all played like childhood sports together. So I think it just goes like the community that I was surrounded in, the type of parents, that mindset, just like really pushing their kids to be great. And I hope that continues on in Pickerington. I would have to say either JT, Sonny. I feel bad for doing my boy Jack with JT or Sonny.
Did you see Jack rising to this kind of level, back then? I mean, what stood out about it from an athlete?
I mean, I feel like that's easy to say, yeah, just because he was like the number one player in the country coming out of high school. So like the expectations have always been high, but it's hard as like a 8-year-old to even envision like him being like making that play that he did. But we always knew we were going to play at a high level together, and we talked about that since we were really young.
Like what? What were the conversations?
Originally we talked about playing at Ohio State together, and now we're here though. But so like my freshman year, when we both were sophomore year when we were getting recruited to Ohio State, me and him are visiting like every other week together. So really just seeing the vision, seeing what he talked about, and being a man of his word, just going to accomplish what he did.
When you saw the bracket, so you're on one side, Notre Dame's on the other. Were you hoping you guys would meet?
I honestly wasn't even thinking about Notre Dame because there was so much going on in the program at the time. Like the real focus was on being Tennessee. So to be here in this time, my girlfriend goes to Notre Dame. A lot of my family, like just a lot of connections between Notre Dame and Ohio State for me. So I just know it's going to be a good matchup that everyone's excited for.
When you look back and touch with many guys on the team, talk to them this week.
I did talk to him, but those were conversations were short lived. I told him I can't be talking to the enemy for too long. So. She's rooting for Ohio State. She should. We actually had a conversation about this. So she should be in Ohio State gear if anyone sees her. So.
Was this a difficult conversation?
It was a little difficult. It was a little bumpy, but we got her on the Ohio State side for sure.
Well, you've already done this though, like with your parents in the first goal. So
Yeah, no doubt. My mom and dad, they don't have to split jerseys anymore or anything like that. All Ohio State should be at this game.
When you look back at the program when you left it at Notre Dame and it getting to a national championship under Coach Freeman, how much growth? I know you're not there anymore. How much growth have you seen from the outside, kind of looking at it?
Yeah, I'm on the outside, but I've always kept in touch with my players there, like some of my friends and former current players there. So I want to credit a lot of that to Coach Freeman. The program, like when I was there, there were some tough losses that were taken, so there definitely needed some change to be made, and he did that. And I think this formatting with the 12-team playoff, it helped us, but it really helped them as well.
Is there something unique about that on this team? I'm sure that exists at Notre Dame as well.
Yeah, Notre Dame was a little bit different just because it's already rooted in their tradition. So here, guys that really had to step up and really kind of be vocal about it. And I just think it was like of the utmost importance just because in our sport, like you have to have a reference point. And if your reference point is it's just measured on your success on the field, how much NIL money you're getting, things of that nature. It's easy to go up and down. So finding that reference point within the Lord has kept this team steady.
Did you have a feeling that Coach Freeman would be successful? And if so, what?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Coach, I'd say a lot of it is because he got Ohio State roots. But now, honestly, Coach Freeman, when he first came, the team, they really took him in when I was at Notre Dame. I remember him first coming in the locker room vividly, and everyone in the team jumped up. And this is another thing that sticks out to me. Before every single practice, he dapped up every single player in line. So he's a really player coach. And I just want to like, he works real hard. Like I just saw like the dedication he had, like how much he cared about the program, the players, and being that Notre Dame man. So I have a lot of respect and yeah, a lot of their successes because of him.
From watching from afar, have you seen anything about him that is matured as a head coach? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand, but I'm not sure on that level, on like how much he's matured. But I saw the bricks being laid for sure while I was there.
How much did they try to keep you?
Yeah, I had a long talk with Al Golden while I was there, defensive coordinator, and he really wanted me to stay. But I kind of already had my mind made up that I was ready to enter the portal and find a better fit for myself. So Yeah, that was the conversation as well. So
Great. Lorenzo, thank you very much.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You might, I don't know if something comes next. It's fine. Don't quote me on that, but I think he practiced. And so I don't know if he put this or maybe it's just let me see how I feel. Holding this one for Coach Dave.
Folks, we have a little bonus coverage. We're going to have Sonny Styles over here on the half mark for about 5 minutes.
That's the dance.
Amelia, we're going to keep this one empty because I think Coach is going to be ready in about 10 minutes. Okay, that's great. Love you, man. See you soon. Okay, bye. more questions. Last question. Sonny, thank you very much. Folks, I think we'll have Coach Day on this table here shortly.
I had an empty one when I came in here. Now it's chilling. Pretty cool. This question. Army and Navy.
I said Army and Navy was
6 a.m. They also scored more points than Penn State defensive line. Yeah, right. We were talking about like
I just like you can't.
Anders has no respect for the competition. None, man.
100% like
You just gotta find a way.
Are you aware that you
That's such a stupid. Yeah, so see, you mean 130? You guys ready for that? I am. A package of all. Put it on Experience Championship Series. Except for all those other pieces.
I mean, I guess you just like look at eBay and you just see B. Rabinowitz, S. Means, Bill E. Landis, you just like all these names.
Buy mine. I have even a zip.
I lost.
It's very much like completely different. It's like wide receivers are normally deep. And like the corners are they're allowed. Yeah.
It is objectively funny.
I feel like if the receiver could got it their way, they would never
Bitching about hacking us. Everybody else is like, this sucks. And now you know why. Now you know why.
They should like.
That's true. It's really not that complicated.
Just call fucking Scotty.
It's a moonshot.
What does that mean?
She talks all the time. She's loud.
I mean, like,
That's when I had a good time.
They don't
I did not.
Scott,
You were not on the other side of the
you were within contact.
Patrick and I were like,
Hey, it was my turn to go.
shut the fuck up, like,
Yeah,
we were not.
good. But like in terms of football,
Don't like touching.
the best thing to not give up.
We already know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You don't really want to get up.
And they expect it.
Yeah, like there was a couple where I was
Like, but in that Penn State game, it just felt like every time they got the third down.
Or no, you know what it was, Patrick, too? I was like, we should just name the wrong. Yeah. So she was like, I forget what the answer was, but it was like, oh, Talladega Nights. Like after Talladega Nights. After Talladega Nights had been.
You get to the hole, you're gone.
Oh, that's definitely. Still right now.
Riley Cooper, Riley Leonard. Yeah, right.
Steven, do you want to go home or something?
You thought about putting 12 players on the field.
Yeah.
Ryan, did no Marcus
Zach
you know what's gonna be so lovely? That's Sunday presser. Like we've done like the Monday Sunday presser is gonna be the most realist of anything that has ever happened in the history of after this. No, that actually might not be bad because they might be drunk. They might be drunk. Like if Ohio State beats the shit out of Notre Dame, if Jack Sawyer is still good, there's a non-zero chance that Jack Sawyer is there. Like not like a, oh yeah, like we proved the hate is wrong. I'm talking to kids up there.
It's like when
Like yeah, so like we need to be ready.
it's got to be 6
I read this and this.
Yeah, he just like pulls out his phone and he goes. November 30th, 11 Morgan, December 1st, Cleveland.com. You guys said we suck.
They always say
Unless you're playing
Marvell comes in, so instead of taking Hancock at corner, you take Davis, and then also you take Denzel.
Davison can tackle. Davison's a better, more physical tackler than Jordan. Better and more physical.
More physical.
Yeah,
but he's going to get like a face mask.
You want Davison to tackle. You want Davison to bring up. Yes,
I do.
but he is the
That's the level. The one that you had like all touch pass players, so
That's the level.
Who's better tackle? Jordan Davis. And I want Davison on the field. Okay, well then I'm saying they say Jordan Davis. They literally now Jordan and then you put Hancock on the outside.
It's good. He's got a little bit of David. I have like who are all really good. I try to run the ball. And then next year I got I just when I got to Penn State, I mean, as Penn State is.
So you have any 2%?
Yeah. Like all my receivers are like 80.
That was the fastest I've ever been wrong about something because there was nobody behind him. So he wrapped him up and he was like spinning him down. I'm like, oh, that's a great. And he was gone.
Yeah, right. So like yesterday, there was a guy. They must have like put him on the roof. Got a ladder out there. Somebody trying to come here and see what's going on.
So instead of putting in Arvell, you have Cody.
Put the cigarette. I gotta get out of here.
Cody studies the
Talking ball here. They're talking ball.
PlayStation.
Because when they hit this, opens the door.
To be fair, he got lucky. Luckily, like Jack couldn't kick off Jack.
Yeah. No, that's why I actually think he's been fine. I think there's a team that's gonna be like we can fix it, and also NFL teams don't care.
That might be their best pass.
That kind of stuff you can do. We can fix those. The team is like I can see Davis. I'll do a good job.
But I'll put it like this: if it's a close game,
it's also so weird.
Anything that makes
their starting he's pretty sick of the guy. Yeah, he's a girl.
Oh yeah,
he's number one.
Because
if an Oregon player spits on him, like
Oregon and Notre Dame are like
just go in, Oregon's number 3 receiver, go in. All right,
let's see what happens here. And then they went to Buckner in 22, and they were like, this is
I want to see.
It's like Oregon. Oregon, I have a buddy who.
Oh, Riley Peterson. That's such a
Oregon.
All the players come by.
That is the Duke. Yeah.
Because Oregon, I get South Carolina.
Jeremiah Smith is going to
I know.
then he's going to get on the field.
Way better.
They're not Jeremiah Smith.
I got some big city like, I think there are a lot of places that I've seen a lot of
They had some money.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, the first two are without crap.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just like, hey, let's get this out of the way. And well, I'm not surprised, but I didn't think it was going to happen.
Oh, sure. You got to build
yeah, and then it's also like
it's all about individual. Oh, that is smooth. No, that's the
Probably not. Have just recorder on it for 10 minutes. Straight nothing.
So he can always say like, "Oh no, it isn't." And then there's a crystal ball, so like,
Yes. Basically saying,
and then like it's just
someone has to read it.
yeah. They're just not ready.
Right.
It's also,
That
also should be able also bullshit because last year like, well, I was the ball get away like 47 that would like it would make I don't know why it's just not saying
Well, and the problem is, some people have like different. Some people are like, if the dude's going here, I'm going.
It's this entire they just don't notice
His
job is to get his ass kicked.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Hey, folks, we have Cardell Tate on the hat.
Does it have the gold swoosh?
Yeah, but it's not available.
Chase, don't you wish right now that you were in that sweltering McCorkle Aquatic Pavilion, just chilling, just working there, beautiful water in front of you? Well, I think he said those heaters are on, and they're blowing like 350 milliwatts of something. Maybe the fans need to be on higher to force the air down here.
So I don't have to fake produce it.
Hey, you twisted your hair. It's good.
Just misleading stuff.
You guys all get this?
He was already very good.
Got a lot more.
It's a shame it's going to be on Celebration. So stick with If he gets a touchdown, I'll do some video. What was maybe he was already thinking shit about it. Just saying Celebration. Really, they realized I could go great.
They were just like this 15 the moment he do have another. No, I mean, you're going the wrong way.
Okay, folks, I'm going to have Will at the first table in a few minutes for just a few minutes. Oh.
Back about popular
Similar attitudes, similar attitudes, especially fans. Like, and then getting like everyone around it's gonna be a blowout. There's no way you think it's gonna go. I mean, I know you don't do special teams, but exactly. Get the ball first. So they seem to do better when they get the ball first. I think they want to toss
Tell me about it. What are we supposed to do? It's their fault.
Yeah, you get it while you can get it. You know?
They should at least fly you guys down. You're like actual students. You're connected to the school. The rest of us are supposed
Can't
to
they
be
just
like
put us in
neutral.
the bottom of their plane, like with the luggage?
Exactly.
That's fine.
Just like mapped down there.
Sure.
Are you guys going to activate babes to your payroll? No, he's free.
No from me.
You can put him with the equipment truck.
I'd rather just drive myself.
Dude, live reporting from the
On the charter plane. You know, Buckeye. It's called Buckeye. That is a different charter. That's big. I walked right into that. I understand we're on the time. 2 and done, Jerry. Not like, come on.
Story I claimed today for us. It's like I was like, guys, I'll get that, and that'll be up by 10 o'clock. Two and done, Jerry. Come on. Mike Bassford over there. Come on, cracking the whip. I think he should. He might say something. That'll be really the best piece here. Right. And that's like set up for that retail thing. Okay, that might be worth it.
He's coming.
Hey, folks, we have Will Howard for about 3 minutes here.
Yeah, there were some worries.
Great. Good.
Do you know what happened?
Huh?
Do you
Yeah.
know what happened?
Yeah. Popped a blood. I told you after the game,
I
damn
know,
it.
but like,
Popped a blood vessel. Yeah, just got a
did
little.
you feel it when it happened?
No, it didn't hurt at all.
So you just happened to look down.
I just looked down and it was pretty big. It happened earlier in the season too. Nobody really noticed then, but
So this is like a normal part of the Will Howard experience.
I apparently this year it is. It never has been before, but I guess I'm swelling up this year. I don't know what it is.
The injuries. I don't think what the right word is, but just could you speak to their resilience and the fact that everyone was predicting doom when you lost those guys?
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened.
Man, I got to give all the credit in the world to those guys, man. They've stepped up in a huge way, and I've seen a different look in their eyes, man. Like Carson and Josh Fryar and Donnie, those two dudes have stepped up in a big way. Carson too, I think have those three have led the way, man. And you know, Austin's done some really, really good things, and Luke Montgomery's playing really good football right now. And Tegra graded out a champion last week. Like, I mean, there were a lot of people that were saying a lot of different things about those guys, man, and they've stepped up in a huge way. I'm just so proud of them, but man, we need one more. A little. I don't even remember honestly, but I kind of, it was just the beginning of the when I first entered, but I think they were pretty set on Riley. So.
Well, you remember what your dream was when you walked in here, though, right? I mean, to get to this point, correct?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
right? I mean, as you sit here now, is it odd? I mean, that it's happened. I mean, does it feel different?
I mean, it's surreal. I think is what you're trying to say. Like, you know, yeah, I do have to kind of pinch myself at times and be like, man, yeah, I'm in the national championship, but at the same time, it is where we expected to be, man. And you know, we got ready for this season saying that, you know, if we were going to come out of it saying it was a success, we were going to have to play 16, 17 games. And here we are, man. And so I'm just proud of our guys that we got to this point. But like I said last week, man, the job's not finished, and it's not finished until we win.
You know, some people get a sense of satisfaction when they get to this point, but what do you sense about this team, about business unfinished yet? I mean, what's that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, they're like we've said, I mean, we've come all this way, but it means really nothing if we don't finish it the right way and win this last one. I mean, it's the national championship. I would hope that we don't need much more motivation than that. I mean, it's all of our goals and aspirations are right here in front of us, man.
What stands out about this? You were going to get it. What was that film session like on the 4th and 2 run?
yeah. Coach Kelly calling me one-legged Willie, just giving me a hard time on that one. That was, that wasn't my best moment. Well, you know, on a QB power play, you get moving forward a little bit. You think you might get some contact, and then you don't get some contact. And then it was pretty unathletic of me, but you know, hey, we got the first down.
2 more questions, folks.
You want to show your own strength. You want to show your own coming to Ohio State. To have a play like that, kind of get to use your legs again. How big is that? You know, showing Notre Dame is finally like, hey, you can still do those.
Yeah, I think it's big, and you know, especially you know, you talk about being a quarterback in those big moments. 4th and 2 game on the line, you know, you got to be willing to use your legs, and you got to be willing to put your body on the line out there and go get 2 yards. And I think there's something I love about that, and saying like, guys, I'm going and getting this freaking first down, you know, and we're getting it together and having the ball in your hands. I think there's something, kind of cool to that. And I love doing that. But, obviously I think it was just a great play call, and, Coach Day dialed him up, and all I had to do was follow behind Luke and Fryar and get it up in there. But no, that was a great play.
Last question.
Yeah, they do a great job, man. I think that, they play a lot of man, and they want to challenge you. But I think, I think they do a really good job of being physical, but also being smart and not, they don't get a lot of penalties. They shadow guys really well. Obviously they're missing their guy Morrison, but I think 29 and 15 both do a great job too. I think number 1 in the slots, a solid player. I think obviously number 0 is a stud. And I think all across the board, man, they got guys. So, but I mean, we got guys too. So it'll be fun to watch those guys duke it out and have some fun one-on-one reps out there.
What do you remember about being Riley Leonard's roommate? The roommate storyline has seemed to be.
Yeah, I guess the roommate thing is turning into a thing here. But yes, me and Riley, I actually met him initially 2 years ago at the Manning camp, and then last year we came back for, I think it was both of our second time, maybe his third time. But we were roommates. It was me, him, I think Cade Klubnik, and I think Van Dyke was the last one. And it was the 4 of us. And so I mean, it was funny, man. It was we probably wouldn't have imagined that, a couple months later, here we are, playing for the national championship for, 2 new schools. But it is pretty cool, man. He's a great guy. Somebody I have a lot of respect for, and not just the player he is, but the man and the man of faith that he is. Got a lot of respect for him, man. And I'm excited to get out there and duke it out with him.
Great. Will, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thanks, guys. Go Bucks.
Hey, Jared, are we still good to me? I'm not sure.
You bet.
Get Coach Day.
Like 7 o'clock? 7. Yeah, whatever. I mean, read somewhere. Prince.
Kansas City.
Jackson Hartfeld Airport. Small little tiny airport. It's the largest in the world.
We'll get there an hour early. We'll still be late. Ohio State team.
All right, folks, we're going to start this lightning round with Coach.
Everybody waiting on there.
All right, Tim May, let him in a row. You want to lead us off?
Sure. Coach Day, the way Carnell Tate stepped up last week and making good with especially Carnell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another example of what you're talking about when your numbers call to deliver.
Yeah, and you need everybody, and you don't know when that's going to happen. It might be the backup left tackle, or it might be you just don't know who it's going to be. But Carnell has played good football for us all year, and you knew we were going to need everybody on offense, and we're going to need him in this game as well. He's going to have an opportunity to have great matchups, and he's got to win. I thought he did that in the game, and you can see all season him getting better and better.
Does the way you played on the bigger stage at all affect maybe having some contract
I don't know. Every team, looks at it differently. That's why we want balance. But Carnell has been working on it every day in practice, and even when he had the drop early in the game, nobody flinched. We know what Carnell can do, and then he went on to play a very, very good game. And so, we're in a rhythm now. We played in a bunch of big games, so I feel like it's a matter of us being at our best and maximizing our talents right now. I don't think at this point it's about the fact that big games. We played a bunch of big games before. We played a lot of games. Now we got to go play our best game, and that's got to be the focus.
Dave Biddle.
You guys have played in 15 games, and it seems like, obviously guys are dealing with bumps and bruises, but it seems like all things considered, you guys are fairly fresh.
Yeah.
After played in 15 games. What does it say about Mick and his staff and what they do?
Yeah, can't say enough. In the off season, we talked a lot about this, but we knew this was going to be a long haul all the way to where we are right now, and we needed to be fresh this time of year. Even though when you start way back in February and in January, around this time last year, really is where we were about a year ago. When you look all the way ahead, you say to yourself, okay, where do we need to be? How do we need to go? And it's one thing to put a plan together that has to be on point, but it's another thing to execute it. So to your point, we'll continue that preparation this week and make sure we're fresh to go in the game. But yeah, Mick to me is the best there is in the business, and his staff is equally as good. Not only do they bring energy and passion every day, in the Woody, but also just the understanding of sports science. I think his staff does a great job of the old-fashioned work ethic and discipline and leadership and accountability and resilience mixed in with the sports science of every day taking a look at the workloads and even going into this for the first time ever in the playoffs. What was the workload? How did we adjust things, which we did, and how we practiced a little bit. Today's a big day for us.
Dylan Davis.
Brian, earlier this season, or I guess beginning of the season, you talked about the brick thing and building bricks as the foundation to kind of survive all the storms. There's been no shortage of storms for you this year. Now that you're here on the doorstep of the national championship, what kind of testimony is this season been for that message and what it means for this program now and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be over 100 bricks when it's all said and done on that foundation. And when you get to this point and you look at that, it makes you realize where you are right now, and that you were able to withstand some storms along the way. Which, in the first day of preseason camp, that's exactly what we talked about. And but now we got to go finish it. We got to finish it. It's one thing to build the foundation up to this point. Now you got to go finish it off. And this is the first time we get a chance to finish it this week. And there's a big part of that as well. It's one thing to build the foundation. It's another thing to go finish the job. And that's what we got to get done this week.
Dan Hope.
Leadership. Certainly performance has been excellent, but it's leadership to me. It's putting a team on your shoulders. We're going against a quarterback who's an excellent leader as well. So it'll be a battle, but I've just, the way that Will can, take the team on his shoulders and, not only lead the way, but also pump guys up. He's got a good positive mindset. And so we need a good week of work here in preparation for this game so he can be at his best as well.
Cameron Teague Robinson.
Ryan, beginning of the year when you deal with like all you mentioned, obviously you got to do a lot of things. One of the things to look forward to most is just being with the team more instead of kind of X's and O's. As you guys have been through the ups and downs you guys have been through and even this run the last 6 or 7 weeks, I feel like some of that is starting to pay off, you being able to see these guys and be there for them more than maybe you would be if you were game planning all the time.
Yeah, I hope so. But during the playoffs, I can tell you, just full disclosure, I've been very much involved with it all and just making sure that the football is right, because when you get into these playoffs, the football has to be right. But yeah, to your point, I think it was definitely the right thing to do. We'll have a chance to reflect on everything, in a couple of weeks here, but we got nose to the grindstone right now, and all focus is on putting this great game plan together, practicing, getting on the field, walkthroughs, meetings. I mean, that's what we have to do as a staff. And, our leaders got to lead, but we got to be at our best. So, we'll look back on all that now, in a couple of weeks from now, but right now we'll focus on this practice and making sure we do a great job today of installing what we need to get done. As I've told you before, these are the days I get the most worked up to make sure we have the right stuff for our guys to give them a chance to go play fast and aggressive.
Austin Ward.
Ryan, you say all the time that you guys won't put anyone on the field if you don't have confidence they can do the job. Going into Tennessee and going with that rotation in front, did you have any trepidation about how that was going to work? And I would imagine it's probably exceeded expectations since then, but I won't put those words in your mouth.
Well, it's been a group that's had a lot of different combinations all year, and I think it's become a very resilient group. And again, they have to be at their best this week. They got to finish the job, and a big part of this game is going to be up front on both sides of the ball. We know that they're very, very good up front on both sides of the ball, physical the way they play. So, those guys need to have a good week of practice. But to your point, resilience is probably the word that I use the most there. Just overcoming, difficult situations throughout the year. Some really good moments, some tough moments, but that's football. And I think Justin and that whole group has stuck together. And because of that, they've become stronger in the back end, and now it's got to pay off in this game. And that's so we got to lean towards. And in this game is the fact that they've been through some great moments together and been through some other difficult times that they've learned from and grown from. So I think they should be going into this game with the utmost confidence.
Bill Rabinowitz.
Every other national championship Ohio State's won kind of came out of the blue. 68 sophomores, 2002, 2014. This is the first time you win it. Where a team that was a prime contender actually did it. You got to speak to the pressure that comes with being a favorite at Ohio State and just getting to this point.
to think too much about that right now is kind of over here. And I'm with you. I think you're dead on. And I think it's worth, a lot of conversation. I think when you start to get into that, though, as a coach or as a player, it can be a distraction. And one of the things that we're trying to do this week is eliminate all distractions. Like, what's happened in the past doesn't matter. What's happening moving forward doesn't matter. All that matters is winning this game right now. And then we can kind of figure out what that is. And I think, pressure, whatever you call it, the way that you just continue to work during those moments is to focus on right now and just focus on your job and focus on what's in front of you, because the rest of it doesn't matter. And that's kind of what I'm going to focus on right now. I do think that there's great conversation to be had about that down the road and what comes with it, because it isn't the same as a lot of other places. It's just different. But I'm proud of our guys and the way that we stuck together throughout the year. And so now we're just going to have a great day of practice. That's it. And no distractions.
Jeremy Birmingham.
Ryan, I don't know how many times in Ohio State history that you played a non-conference opponent 3 straight years.
Right.
How valuable is it? What are the pros and cons of that? And when you're talking about last week doesn't matter, you've said that over and over in the last month. Does last year matter? Does 2 years ago matter? How do you?
I think there's a reference point in this game because, you took a look at Tennessee, you take a look at Texas, those games, we didn't really know because they were in the SEC, and sometimes you're not sure exactly how to compare. Oregon, we did going in, this team we do. Now they're different than they were last year, but still very similar. So, this game will be the 3rd time we play them in 3 years. So, the majority of our guys and certainly the older guys have played these guys before. So they know what a great team this is, and they know, how good they are. So, that point, it's not a Big Ten team, but at the same time, again, 3 times in 3 years, I think that's good for our guys to understand who they're playing against.
How do you, as a coach, not go into this expecting a rock fight like the last 2 years, or you just say that's what it's going to be and that's how we're going to?
No, every year is different. Every game is different, and how we want this to turn out is going to be based on our execution. That's it. And so that's why we got to go in really, really prepared, play with great confidence, and attack from the first play.
Spencer Holbrook.
When we first talked to you about Luke Montgomery in preseason last year, you said everything you put into Luke, you're going to get out. I think last game was his first start.
Yep.
To see the progression that he's made from being in contention for that tackle spot to the guard, and now trusting him to start in his first game in the college football playoff semifinal. Like, what have you seen from him that made you guys think he's ready for that moment and that he's going to be ready?
Every day in practice, you just see a guy who brings it, and he's got great athleticism. And the thing that I've noticed is now that we've gotten into the games, he's allowed to let his competitive nature show, and that you're feeling him on the field, and that's not always easy to do in practice, but. You're seeing him in big moments step up, and he's going to need to in this game. They're good inside. They're quick inside. They do a lot of movement. And so, very penetrating defense. So, this would be a big game for him, to solidify himself moving forward. But to say, that we expected him to play like this, I think that we did, because we see him this way in practice every day. And so it's allowed us some flexibility on the inside. And we played with depth in the offensive line that we didn't expect to happen. But it did. And so, I think him being next to Carson, who's playing with more confidence, Donnie and Josh, you're just seeing guys in there who have now played a lot more football than maybe in the past. And so, anytime you go into a game, you learn from that experience and you play the next game with more confidence. And so I think they've, talked to him about that, and he's fed off of those older guys.
Stephen Means.
Ryan, you spent a lot of time this year going back to the Big Ten meeting days talking about the idea of leaving no doubt this year.
Right.
I know you've always applied that to an individual game more than micro, not let things come down to one play. But given how the last couple of years have gone, can that be a macro conversation?
1,000%.
With, what a national championship could do for that conversation that you've been trying to have.
That's it. That's it. You got to leave no doubt. That's it. And whether it's a game or a season, that's it. We got to finish this thing the right way. And whether you're talking about that foundation and building what you wanted to get done this season and finishing it the right way, or leaving no doubt, all those things come into play. And it was all about for this moment right here. So we've been working towards this moment. And now we just got to go again, have a great week of practice. And then as we get later in the week, start really diving into taking care of our minds, bodies, and souls to go play in this game. Because it's going to be a battle.
Got time for 2 more. Whitney Harding.
Hey, Ryan. You guys were looking for a quarterback to bring in the offseason transfer. You guys could have wanted anybody. It's Ohio State.
What was it about Will that you knew he was the guy for this program in this moment? And has he grown into that, or did you know, yes, this guy is special, so what we need?
Yeah, you never know for sure, but you try to do the best you can when you're, putting a roster together. You do everything you possibly can to make sure you have everything you need, in the right combination of talent, culture fits. But with Will, Will brings so many great things to the table, and his leadership is at the forefront of it all. I know in a short period of time, he's had a huge impact on Ohio State. And I know he wants to finish this thing the right way, because we've also had an impact on him in our program. So I think that part has been a great marriage back and forth. And yeah, I know he's really focused on this game. He's already jumped into the game plan, and he's excited about playing this one.
Tony Gerben. Ryan, what is the difficulty in facing a team in a program like Notre Dame that just finds a way over and over again?
Yeah, resilient, tough, well coached, and so that allows or forces us to make sure we're playing very, very efficiently across the board. We have to play a clean game. We can't beat ourselves. We got to make sure that we're the best version of ourselves in this game. That's it, and be really, really aggressive and make sure that we're running the ball on defense. We're tackling really, really well. Getting off the field on third down. Running the football and being physical and controlling the game. And when it's time to make plays downfield, we got to make them. So special teams will be a challenge. They do a great job. They're creative in what they do, and you've seen them run fakes and different things. So we have to be on high alert for different things there, trying to steal a possession. So they challenge in a lot of different ways, and they're a very good team.
Great, Coach. Thank you very
much.
much.
Thanks, guys.
It's fine. If you wanted to.
Do you? Okay.
I know females. Yeah.
Are you guys telling me that your beanies are not the same?
No, see, this has a different logo on it.
No, it's just saying I had that one and then I scratched that off.
Like that's literally what it looks like.
So